Morning, just with you for 2 minutes, really. Just wanted to of course, greet all our citizens and residents and the many volunteers who are here helping us with our recovery efforts. Let me thank Dennis Joseph for doing a fantastic job on the daily briefings. Recognize the Minister of Tourism and the Permanent Secretary and Mr. Piper of the DDA and Mr. Val Coffey of the Festival Commission. But we're here to also hear from Walter, who is the Regional Director of the Americas for the Red Cross. The Red Cross have been exceptional in their assistance to Dominica after the hurricane, and they have been engaged in a number of very important activities. And of course, they will speak to you of the details of what they've been involved in. But the mere presence of the regional director here, with all of what's happening in the rest of the world, in Mexico, in the United States, in Puerto Rico, the U.S. Virgin Islands, Costa Rica, all of these countries are reeling from disasters of one kind or the other. And he has made it here to Dominica to lend support. You know, the Red Cross has many officials here assisting us in many respects, and we're very grateful for this. I met with him this morning and his colleague, and we went through a number of important elements of the relief and, of course, moving into the recovery mode. And one of the things that we'll be discussing further, on my request, is the possibility of the Red Cross taking over the relief aspect for the government, where the food supplies are concerned and getting the food supplies to the communities. So hand over from the government systems to the Red Cross, and of course we'll discuss the modalities at some point in respect to that. But my message to the Dominican people, all of us, we have to remain positive. Being negative is not going to help you, it's not going to help your community, it's not going to help our country. Being negative is not going to get a roof over your house. It's not going to get your house rebuilt. It's not going to get our schools rebuilt. It's not going to get you back on the farm. It's not going to get your business open. We all can have many things to complain about, but to what end? To what benefit? I think it's a time for us to be optimistic, for us to be positive, for us to be hopeful. It's again a time for us to reach out and look out for the less fortunate within our community, the most vulnerable. You know, have we as citizens, as residents in the villages, accounted for every senior citizen? Have we been to their homes? You know, if we know that there are some seniors who need water, can we not ourselves fetch the water for those senior citizens rather than relying on the state agencies to do so? So we need to be our neighbor's keeper in these times. And the regional international communities are here to assist us. But the responsibility of getting ourselves off the ground is left to us as Dominicans. And so we have to carry the brunt of the responsibility and carry the task. You know, there are a number of things that we can do for ourselves in the community which will not cost us money. It will just cost us a commitment to our country and our communities. The drains are unblocked. We should unblock it ourselves. We shouldn't wait for the government to pay somebody to do it. Because if we leave the drains unblocked, if all of the rain that we've been getting, what's going to happen? Water is going to build up. When water builds up, what's going to happen? It's going to wash away what is left from area, our private homes. We've been able to secure mattresses and get it dried in the sun. And if we allow the water to build up in the drains and flood our homes, we're going to be affected. There are many hundreds of citizens who have received tarpaulins from various agencies. And there are many of them who are unable to place those tarpaulins themselves. Why can't we, who are able to assist in placing the tarpaulins over the houses of these people? You know, if we drive around and if we walk around in the country, in the communities, and we see that somebody's home is not yet covered with tarpaulin, why can't we stop and go to the home and find out what's the problem? Do you have a tarpaulin? If yes, can I assist you in placing it on your roof? If you do not have one, okay, well, I will speak to the authorities and get you one. And I will bring some guys to help you put it up. And I think that has to be the attitude and the approach we have to take. If we take that approach and attitude, we will move the process of recovery much faster than it's currently going. You know, we have many friends who were assisting us. I mean, last night you had the Jamaican Defense Force, while some of us were asleep, cleaning the roads for us, the streets for us, up to midnight last night. So one can speak to the kind of commitment that the volunteers here were having. Midnight, while majority of us were asleep, we have friends from Jamaica, the defense forces from Jamaica, assisting in cleaning the streets so that when we wake up in the morning, there's improved access at the Newtown Primary School for our students and for road users. So many of us will be driving on the road this morning, having gone to bed with the road in a particular shape and state, wake up in the morning driving in a much more improved road. You know, and the same can be done in many communities. There's no complaint now of the curfew. It has been lifted in every part of the country except the city. So you can work as late as you wish in those communities. But so we have to be positive. You know, there's still just too many unnecessary negatives going around. It's not going to help anybody in this country. You know, why can't we post positive stories? Why can't we post what the Red Cross is doing here? Why can't we post what the Jamaican force is doing here? Why can't we post what the Trinidadian forces is doing here? Why can't we go and take a proper photograph of a major ship coming with supplies from a friendly nation and post it? You know, why can't we show that they're volunteers fixing the roofs of people, you know, or cleaning the schools? These are the positive messages that we need to promote. Criticisms are fine and they're welcome, but they must be constructive. It must be to make things better, not to undermine the efforts of the local authorities and those who are here helping. Because all of these people who are here helping, because of the fact that our hotels are highly compromised, are sleeping under very difficult circumstances. With no lights, no running water, in some cases sleep on hard concrete, the cold concrete, just to be here to assist us, and they go to bed with a smile and they wake up with an eagerness to help us. So why can't we, as citizens, have that same attitude? You know, we really have to be a little bit more constructive and positive in the way we view things. The government is committed to doing what we can. As the days go by, we'll articulate further some of the policies and some of the specific areas of intervention the government will work on. Today we'll hear from tourism, and of course before tourism we'll hear from our friends from the Red Cross. And tomorrow we're bringing in the planning department, physical planning department. We'll bring in a structural engineer, we'll bring in an architect, we'll bring in a builder to guide us and advise us on how we should proceed with the repairs to our homes. And we really need to ensure, and the government will be putting a team of engineers together to go house to house to ensure that before you put your roof on, you get a structural engineer to give you an assessment of this home. Because some homes, the roofs may have gone, but there are some structural challenges. And these houses will need to be broken down and rebuilt completely. We also have to deal with the designs, the proper designs of the roofs, to ensure that they are designed for hurricanes. And the construction is in keeping with the construction codes, so that we do not have similar situations occurring. So I want to thank our friend, you know, from the Red Cross, to thank you for your efforts and for the tremendous commitment that you have demonstrated to Dominica and our citizens. I really wanted to come to publicly recognize your personal efforts as the director, but also the efforts of your local team here, your regional team, your international team, and the many volunteers who are going into the communities, and many of whom themselves have no roofs over their heads. Many of them, homes are flooded. Many of them have been impacted personally by this hurricane. but their commitment is beyond measure. They're reaching out to our citizens, and that's the attitude and approach which we must all have if we're to build back a better country and a more resilient nation. So I really want to come here to thank you publicly on behalf of the government and the people of this country for the Red Cross's absolute commitment and the amount of resources that you have raised for the Red Cross system and the number of interventions which you have engaged in and which you will be doing in the next few days and few weeks. And of course, I'm sure you'll be here with us in the very long run, because the Red Cross is here physically in Dominica, and the system here is pretty good. And with the support of the regional office, I'm sure we'll even see things improving and being better. So thank you, and we wish the Red Cross well, and to really appreciate your commitment and your presence here. It speaks, to your inner commitment. It's not about a job. It is about a love for humanity, and it's a deep concern which you yourself have. And meeting with yourself this morning, and hearing your expression and your concern and your solidarity and your commitment to our country, it is heartwarming to know that we have in you the director of the regional offices of the Americas, leading the charge on our behalf. So we want to thank you and wish Red Cross all the best. We look forward to strengthening the bonds of cooperation and the bonds of friendship which has existed between the Red Cross and Dominica for so many years. But these disasters bring us even closer together, because these are shared commitments and shared principles. So thank you very much, and I wish the Red Cross all the best. Thank you. Thank you.